As I thought of words to say today, I continued something that I said on Palm Sunday. I'm going to say again tomorrow and maybe even Easter. This wonderful fact about our faith and about our Holy Scriptures. And that is that the first three Gospels, who knows what the first three Gospels are? Matthew, Mark, and Luke. They're called synoptic Gospels, and they all see things in the same way. They act like reporters, and they stay just to the facts about Jesus' life more. The fourth Gospel is different, the Gospel of John. And whereas the first three Gospels tell just the facts, John always tells the facts, and then he tells us details and tells us why it matters for our faith forever. And on Palm Sunday, we said that the three Gospels said that there were branches on the ground and coats, but John's Gospel said that there were palms in only his Gospel. And we talked about how palms was a sign of victory and the victory of Christ. We have a same difference in the Synoptic Gospels and the Gospel of John for tonight, Holy Thursday. On Holy Thursday, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, they all mention a very important, perhaps the most important aspect of our faith. When Jesus said, "Do this in remembrance of me," what did he say to do in remembrance of him? This is my body, this is my blood. Eat, drink for the remission of sins. Do this in remembrance of me. And so that's why on Holy Thursday, traditionally in the Armenian church, there's a badarak, the Mass with the Eucharist. And we do it every single Sunday. We take very seriously that we do this in remembrance of Jesus, and somehow we participate in his self-giving to the world by him giving to us through the Eucharist. Extremely important. But once a year, it's very important that we go to the Gospel of John and see what he said about Holy Thursday. He said one word, that there was supper. Nothing about bread and wine or anything. What he did say was this: when they sat down for supper, Jesus got up, took off his robe, put on a towel, and kneeled and washed his disciples' feet. First lesson. This is what the slaves did. This is what the youngest slave did. This is not what the master did. This is not what the teacher did. This was not the king did. This was not what God himself did. But Jesus said, I am doing this because in my kingdom that starts in this world and then goes forever, the one who is truly powerful and strong is powerful and strong enough to humble themselves and to kneel and to serve. No matter what anyone else says, that is strength. And so Jesus showed that as his first example, but then there was something even more powerful and beautiful than that. Jesus knows that his time is now. He knows his life is at the end. He knows that Judas is sitting at the table with him and will betray him. He knows that he tells Peter, you will deny me 3 times. He knows that Thomas is a doubter and will doubt him to the very end. He knows that James and John will fight about who is the greatest when he's gone. He knows all of this. And he sits down to them for a meal, and he loves them anyway. And he says to them, I have one commandment. Commandment is the same word as mandate, and mandate is from the Latin Maundy Thursday, is what we call today because it is the Thursday of the one commandment, and the one commandment of Jesus was, love one another as I have loved you. And what he means by that, no fluffy romantic stuff here, he means that love people, even the ones who are gonna betray you, even the ones who hurt you, even the ones who aren't paying attention, even the annoying ones, even the unpopular ones, even the sick ones, even the sinners. That's the mandate. That's the mandate. That's the one thing which Jesus tells us, and that's the one thing that John shows us. Yes, Jesus gives his life away through the bread and the wine, but this is a applied religion Christianity. Even the ritual isn't enough. We have to do it. We have to do it in our everyday lives. And love is the way that we prove that our faith means something and it matters. And Jesus said just that. By your love, the world will know that you are mine. The world will know that you are Christians. And so therefore, we reenact this every year to remember that we are to put our faith into practice. We're to love not only the ones that are easy to love, but we're to love people at school who aren't popular, but the unpopular ones. We're to love husbands and wives and daughters and sons, not because of what we want them to be in the ideal, but because of how they are. We're to love our parishioners, not because they're ideal, but how they are. We're to love our pastor, not because he's ideal and what we want him to be, but what he is. We're to love our bishop and our vehapar for the same reason. And so therefore, let us put our love into practice, which is the only fruit of the tree of Christianity by which we know we are Christians and by which we begin in this life a great power and strength and grace that begins here and continues forever, now and always, and unto the ages of ages.